Zilliqa dropped more than 40% in the last month. Is this something to fear about? Is this something to panic? Let's dive into this cryptocurrency a little deeper on the scale of a weekly chart and do some technical analysis to give you some answers for a majority of your questions about this dump that we are facing in the last month. And by the way, what does Chuck Norris has to do with any of this? Well, nothing. And on the other side, everything. So after you subscribe to this channel, and before we dig any deeper into the subject, I'm giving you Zilliqa. So why we mentioned Mr. Chuck Norris, the man, the myth, the legend? Because of Chuck Norris effect. And what do we mean by that? How that correlates to Zilliqa or any other cryptocurrency in the space? When someone's legacy is exaggerated beyond what they actually did, we are talking about Chuck Norris effect. We are referring to worshipping something just for the sake of it, worshipping something that was once great and worth worshipping, but has now lost its greatness. Mr. Chuck Norris, all respect to you. The man turned into an internet celebrity and is worshipped pointlessly by many people, and we are also enjoying it. Now, how this is correlating to Zilliqa? Let's head to the weekly chart of Zilliqa versus US dollar. As we stated, the Chuck Norris effect is when someone is worshipped or the action of someone or something is exaggerated by the point of, let's call it, madness. Where do we see such behavior in crypto space? Well, how about this move of Zilliqa from the March of 2020, when we were going up and up and up, when people were stating that now is the time that we go to the moon and nothing will ever stop your beloved coin Zilliqa. This is the effect that we're talking about. You are becoming greedy more and more, and you think that you are invincible and that nothing can stop you. Just like nothing can stop Mr. Chuck Norris. Of course, this is not the reality, and this is just people's emotions and people's perspective of irrational behavior, let's say. Then again, the same is stated in the last month. The same effect took place as Zilliqa headed down. Now you were fearful beyond imagination, and everybody is panicking. Is it exaggerated? Absolutely. Is this needed? Of course not. You are using the Chuck Norris effect again, but on the opposite side. That is just, let's say, my perspective from the sentiment view on the crypto market. There will always be overly exaggerating behavior from the buyers and the sellers, to the upside or to the downside, as we are now witnessing. But now let's tell a story of Zilliqa from its peak in 2018 and see what is really happening, and should you be panicking in reality. This is the downtrend of Zilliqa from the peak in May of 2018 till the April of this year, when we broke the downtrend and made a breakout. We can say that with this move, Zilliqa's bear market was over. You can see how this trend line holding us back many times until this April. We made a breakout. So why are we heading down? What is holding us back now that we finished this multi-year downtrend and the bear market of Zilliqa? Let's start with this trend line. Once and twice the support, once, even twice the resistance. Pretty simple, right? We must follow this line more into the future and see when this trend line is broken, because after that even more explosive move is ahead of us. And now the horizontal trend line of support and resistance. Without exaggeration, I would say this is the most important line that is holding Zilliqa back. And as you can see, this is the trend line at around 0.024 that pushed Zilliqa down so many times. Again, I must state that this trend line that formed this support and resistance line all the way in 2018, you can see that at the end of 2018 we broke below this trend line, and from that level we are using it as resistance. Nothing extraordinary, just a simple line. But one of the major factors that will decide the future of Zilliqa. I'm warning you, keep a close eye on this support and resistance line. This will be the major factor in the shift of this coin that we are talking about. It resisted us so many times that you really can't expect nothing else from it. But this is giving me a point of reference regarding support and resistance. When the line, either support and in this case resistance, is tested many times contrary to popular beliefs, it is not becoming stronger, it's becoming weaker. And with this constant testing, this resistance is becoming weaker and weaker. We are to expect a break of this resistance line. As you can see, the price action is just bouncing on it. Now anything is possible, but in my opinion, this resistance cannot hold Zilliqa for much longer. Maybe next time we touch it, we are going to the moon and we are crushing it. Okay? Now, regarding our recent price action from the March till this day and the dump that we are currently in and that we're talking about, let's do some analysis as another proof why I think this may be the bottoming. And we are heading right back up to this resistance line that we just talked about. For that example, let's just zoom in a bit. Whoa, now this is really zoomed in. Okay, it will serve us even better. Now I'm gonna use a Fibonacci retracement tool to see how far we retraced from our peak in June of this year when we touched 0.03. There it is. If you don't know how to use the Fibonacci retracement, we use the swing low and we use the swing high. Now, obvious level is pointing out right before your eyes. Where are we now? At the most significant level of the Fibonacci retracement, 61.8%. I think this could be the level that we are doing a bounce to the upside. Not just because 61.8 is always an important level of retracement, but because we already had some price action in the past that was holding us support. Let me show you. If we make this line visible and go into the past, you can see in the past we already had a bounce from this level. It was at the end of 2018. So this level already proved us its significance one time. Will it prove us this time? It's very probable. Do you think we hold this level? Let me know in the comments. And now, as we are currently on the weekly chart of Zilliqa, I noticed a pattern that could be the most significant pattern from the inception of Zilliqa, from the 2018, and it would be so powerful and one of the most important pattern in reversal. What I'm talking about is this. First we need to zoom out and look at this weekly chart from the beginning. Then let's do some support lines that will be significant in the future. First we're gonna mark our all-time high. Then we're gonna bring back this resistance line that is holding us for many months. And now I will use these pivot points to show you something extraordinary in the making. Can you see what it is? Can you guess what I'm talking about? 3, 2, 1, go! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, and that pattern only became visible with this drop, with this dump in the last month. Without it, we wouldn't have this beautiful pattern. So do you think this will play out? Am I doing right? Just for a quick reference, let's see the measurement. Does the calculations hold? If we take the top or the bottom of the head, however you want to call it, and go to this neckline, we are talking about 837%. Now you know that in Head and Shoulders, the distance between the head and the neckline is the distance that the price should travel if we break the neckline. Now let's measure from the neckline to that price target. Well, not that it fits on the screen, but yes, the calculations are correct. 837%. It aligns perfectly. So this Zilliqa dump gave us a huge pattern that could explode to the upside. If you agree with me, smash that like. Also subscribe to the channel. And until the next Zilliqa chart, roar with me.